All of us has probably seen this video. In fact, it may be one of the most viral videos that we've had this year. Hundreds, and I mean literally hundreds of you guys have sent me this video on asking me about it and asking me if I have seen it or just to show it to me. And you guys obviously wanted me to make a full-on video about it. Of course, we at the Willem Petzer Group first had to do our due diligence to find out who this guy is, and more importantly, should we take him seriously? Should we be worried about what he is saying here? So here's what we do know. A man claiming to be the leader of the militant wing of the EFF is threatening that he and other EFF supporters will start slaughtering white people within 72 hours from the release of this video. But the question is this just some empty political theatre, or should everyone in South Africa be taking these threats very seriously? Stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to highlight that once you zoom in on the timing and the wider context of these threats, not just this video but many more like it that we have seen that didn't go as viral, it becomes virtually impossible to simply dismiss them. But how worried should we be? A couple of weeks ago, we at the Willem Petzer Group reported that the White House suddenly called for the immediate evacuation of Afrikaners from South Africa. In a sudden call that seemingly came out of nowhere, the US intelligence agencies noted that conditions in South Africa had developed into what the United States describes as, and I quote, an escalated emergency refugee situation due to unforeseen developments. At the time after these statements were made by the White House, we noted that we really did have no idea what was going on, and we speculated whether the White House had knowledge of developments in South Africa that we as the ordinary citizens of this country don't. But this week something happened that might serve to explain where that sudden evacuation order came from. We all know that several prominent political organizations in the country have set 30 June as the deadline for so-called foreigners to leave the country. Of course, we know that when they say foreigners, it doesn't necessarily only mean illegal foreigners from other African countries, as the xenophobic attacks had been rampant in this country over the past 20 years. But what came as an absolute shock this week is that some of these foreigners, as they are described, are Afrikaners. They are viewing Afrikaners, even those whose families have been here for nearly 400 years, some of us for nearly 200 years more, or 200 years before the Zulu kingdom was even established, as so-called foreigners as well. Take a look at this.
We will not allow this as the military wing of the EFF. I, Solom Zimnweba. You see, I'm giving you my name and my surname because I feel focal, calling for all white people to leave South Africa. This is your deadline. This is your deadline. Today is Father's Day. Like your forefathers did to our people, my people, true revolutionaries will do to your people. Every white man must leave South Africa. Your women are welcome to stay. Your children are welcome to stay. But I need another long baboon. Nina that knows what Ninzen to us. We didn't forget. We know what you did to us.
The fact that a member and a supporter of the EFF who claims to hold a leadership position in the party's military wing can publicly threaten to kill us because of our ethnic identity or ethnicity, and the fact that nobody in the EFF or even the ANC or the MK is distancing themselves from this man or the threats even after this video went so viral, all of this is extremely telling to us. What is even more telling is that this video is being sent out to the world and to thousands of other South African citizens by a prominent supporter of a party who is now world famous for filling stadiums, which means tens of thousands or maybe even over 100,000 of people, with people chanting about genociding the Boer specifically, or as we know, the Boer is just a term used when describing white people in the eyes of these specific people. Take a look at this.
Kill the Boer, the farmer. Kill the Boer, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention.
It is especially noteworthy that the origins of the song historically overlap perfectly with the rise of the phenomenon of farm murders itself. And it is extremely telling that Cyril Ramaphosa and the senior leadership of the ANC are willing to defend this genocidal chant to the point of risking South Africa's most valuable international trade relationship and its party's entire reputation on the international stage just to allow this song to be sung or this chant to be chanted. And now, as we are heading to what could potentially be the bloodiest conflict between black South Africans and black foreigners from other African countries, the question inevitably for us is, or it arises, whether we are to take threats like these seriously, or whether we are also implicated in the threats or the xenophobic threats that are being perpetrated against the black foreigners or other African foreigners. In the video we talk about, the proclaimed leader of the EFF military wing claims that white people are supposedly messing up South Africa's economy and that white South Africans are funding xenophobic organizations so that black people will turn upon each other. He claims that if black people turn on each other on the 30th of June, the white man will be to blame, alone. Interestingly, he then goes on to sing the highly popular song called Impie by the South African band Juluka, which is also commonly played when the Springboks play their rugby games on home soil. The actual lyrics of this song is about the Zulu army defeating the British during the Anglo-Zulu War at the Battle of Isandlwana, which of course happened in 1879.
Kungathi yeza ubani lo othinta amabhubesi.
June 30th, deadline. Abahambi, bloody Afrikaners.
But in light of the viral video that is by now all over social media, that all of you probably have seen, that many of you have sent to me, and especially in the light of the fact that neither the EFF nor any major political organization or party has distanced themselves from this, the question inevitably arises. Should Afrikaners and other minority South Africans, specifically white South Africans, be concerned about these kinds of threats being made so openly in this country? And the short answer for everyone living in South Africa and anyone familiar with the culture of violence and murder in South Africa is very simply, yes, we should. Despite what liberal political commentators and parties and political leaders in this country like to tell us, namely that songs like Kill the Boer are only metaphorical liberation chants and that it only refers to a system of oppression or an idea rather than to actually murder people. Even though they tell us that we should not be worried about chants like these inciting violence, threats like these actually reveal the exact opposite to us. So if today, with just 3 days to go until June 30th, I may be so bold as to issue a sobering warning, please, if you are an Afrikaner or any minority South African, or even a foreigner or a member of any ethnic minority group watching this today, be vigilant and be ready. While none of us knows what will happen on Tuesday, and how this day will play out, we simply cannot afford to just sit back and ignore these threats that are made against us. For the sake of our families and our children, we need to be on high alert come Tuesday. The reality is that even if white people or other minorities aren't the first targets of these anti-immigrant operations, and even if these operations are mostly against other black Africans from other African countries, if the violence ends up gaining momentum and large-scale bloodshed ensues, as we have already seen in this country with the KwaZulu-Natal uprisings, that violence could very easily spill over to such an extent that all of us could be considered an obstacle in the path of what these revolutionaries envisioned to be liberation in South Africa. Ultimately, it would simply be irresponsible to ignore repeated warnings and repeated threats when they come from those who openly glorify terrorism, violence, or threaten others on the basis of their race. History has shown time and time again that societies often look back after episodes of political violence and they wonder why so many warning signs were simply dismissed. Look at what happened to a country very close to us, in Rwanda, for example, where people failed to take the dehumanizing and genocidal rhetoric aimed at the Tutsi people seriously. And, of course, because it was not taken seriously, they failed to intervene before it was too late and before a full-on genocide happened in that country. Ultimately, whether June 30 passes peacefully or not, which it very well may do, every South African should reject these threats, reject ethnic intimidation, and refuse to normalize rhetoric that threats entire communities as legitimate targets only based on their race. After all, no family should have to gamble with its own safety on the assumption that those making violent threats don't really mean it, because usually when people make threats like these, they do. At the start of this video, we mentioned a recent report we did on the White House raising the alarm regarding an immediate and elevated threat of violence against Afrikaners specifically emerging within South Africa, which we now believe may have something to do with what is about to unfold on Tuesday. You can watch that full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now, and we highly recommend you watching that video because we believe the information that we share there is very relevant and very important today. And if you do appreciate our content, the work that we do, please consider supporting us on this channel by becoming a paying member of the Willem Petzer Group. Invest in us by simply following these easy steps on the banner below. Goodbye and God bless.